I've come on to talk about using discernment with all of these videos online. I mean, here you are, you're watching a video, but um, I just feel like it's good to put forth some kind of reminder that the people that are on here are they're either explaining theories or they're discussing technique, their own experiences. I think I'm discussing more the tarot videos that can be motivating, they can be very helpful, they can be really accurate because, I mean, if that is your, you know, if that's your horoscope or if that's your sign, or if you're so sensitive that you can feel the activity going on astrologically, then it's going to resonate for you. But to what extent does that become your truth? To what extent does that become how you base your path in moving forward? Because some of the guidance is just so accurate because, again, like I said, if we're going through something like Mercury retrograde, for example, they might like pull a card and they might say, oh, there's some kind of communication that is, is confusing to you right now. They're connecting to that energy, so there's definite like truth in there. It just becomes a little bit confusing when there's added information in there, like, oh, well, I'm pulling this card, so that means cut that person out of your life. Or I'm pulling this card, that means you have to take action right now. You have to. Have to. Or you should. Like, you should cut this person out of your life. It really depends on the person, and sometimes I realize for myself, I watch some of these videos for entertainment, or it is inspiring, or there can be really interesting ideas. I start to get more discerning when it seems like what's being discussed is that person's experience. I mean, that's what is asked of you with all videos, really, is to use discernment. Take what resonates and discard the rest. But if you're watching it on a daily basis, it can be really easy to just resonate with pretty much anything. If this becomes like a habit of like watching these videos and you come on, you watch it again, each day, you're more likely to align your truth to whatever is being discussed. If that is the pattern of behavior, if you are going on and watching them repeatedly. The other thing I want to say is that it can give us a sense of control over the spiritual path. For somebody to, in general, for someone to be telling you what your truth is, to be pulling a card and telling you how you feel, to be pulling a card and telling you that you need to take a certain direction. And on one end of the spectrum, that can be really inspiring because maybe you've always wanted to do that. Maybe that's something that you, deep down, you already knew for yourself. But it doesn't have to be. There isn't a right or wrong way for you to move forward with your life. There's a way for you to move forward where you can feel what's working for you and what isn't. And when you're following guidance that is telling you that something is or isn't, it's either right or wrong, before you're even asking the question, just always make sure to check in with yourself. There's different kinds of truth. There's the objective truth, there's your own truth. But then I also want you to consider like the truth of relationships that you get. I mean, you can maintain your own truth while watching any of the videos, but while you're doing so, just take note of how much you're following and how much you are creating, how much you're allowing, and how much you're creating and putting into your life. And it's going to be the most meaningful if it comes from you. It's going to be the most meaningful if it's connected to your intuition, if it's connected to your guidance. I've become more connected to my guides since I've stopped watching some videos myself, because there are some videos that will tell you what your guides are thinking. They'll tell you what your guides are saying. And the more that you're following that, the more that's going to become your way of getting guidance, instead of, either if you can differentiate in that moment, but you can find that guidance within you. You don't necessarily have to go on to all of the different videos in order to do so. And that's why I have not posted a lot. And I've thought about doing like tarot, I've thought about doing different things, but I know what I would be doing. I would be telling you what your truth is. And I don't really want to do that. Only you know what that is. And I'm here to remind you that is your right. It's your right to decide what's true for you, and to take all the elements of the different methods of guidance and turn it into something that is useful for you. I said something. Oh, I was talking to my friend about this, and I said, these videos motivate a sense of control over the spiritual path in the way that distracts from natural movement forward. And it creates more expectation. A great example of this is the whole twin flame thing. If you're watching a video that's telling you about, like, I don't even want to say the word twin flame. Whatever. If there's a video that's telling you about love, like the love of your life, and it's projecting that truth outward for you, that starts to become your expectation of what's happening in your life. There's an element of manifestation, like you can manifest from that. But at the same time, be wary of the amount of control you might feel as to that being like the truth. Yeah. You don't have to outsource your truth. I guess that's all I have to say. This has just been on my mind today. So, you do what's best for you. And, maybe if you're resonating with some of this, if you're feeling like, oh yeah, I watch a lot of videos and it starts to get a little weird. Because, if let's say you watched all of them. If you watch all of the videos, that would make a person totally lost. To be listening to all these different truths. So if that is something you resonate with to some extent, then I invite you to just take a step back. It's not black or white necessarily. It's not like, a certain card comes up and then it means like, well, you have to do this because it's one way or the other. It's not always one way or the other. There's a lot of different areas in between those two things. So yeah, maybe if you're resonating with this, then take a step back from all the different truths. And if you're wanting to connect with your guides more, see how much of the videos are directing you toward guidance in a way that's taking away from your guidance. Because you'll be able to connect with your higher self, your spirit guides, if you're not listening to someone else tell you what that is. For every single person, it'll be their own meaningful experience. It doesn't have to be the same as my experience. It doesn't have to be the same as, some tarot person that has like 1 million followers or whatever, just because of that. So I guess that's all I have to say.